All right, so we'll move to the conclusion now of this movie, which is basically Beerus. Beerus is basically like, well, it looks like it all worked out good in the end. And we find out, of course, later on, Goku states that, wow, Broly might be even stronger than Lord Beerus. And we're like, oh, did he not come because he realized they had it under control? Or was Beerus a little scared? And they hinted to this back with Vegito. You know, Reese has always said if Goku and Vegeta work together, they could become even stronger than Beerus. And it's stated, I know, in the manga and alluded to, I think in the anime, that the East Kaioshin, known as Supreme Kai in the Funimation dub, he states that Vegito might be even stronger than Goku. He might be even stronger than Beerus. And something too to clear up to about Gogeta and Vegito, in the magazine for the Shonen Jump, they said that they were both equal trump cards. But if we still go by the original Toriyama continuity, it would be that Vegito, as the Potaro earrings, those effects are still stronger than the fusion dance. But the fusion dance was just the most convenient thing to use here. But yeah, getting into the end of the movie, we see that Chilai and Limo both join Broly, and I like the attention to detail in the story here, where Limo says that he feels safer with Broly because they could obviously track the spaceship, and Frieza wanted to go after them, but Frieza realized, oh, Broly's with them. Well, Frieza knows he can't mess with them, so that was very smart. And Goku eventually does instantaneous transmission or movement to planet Vampa, and he shows himself friendly, and everything goes like, I heard from what I hear, this planet is repugnant. I love that. And he gives him the food and the spaceship, and I just, because the director was constantly giving us subliminal messages when it came to Chilai, and I remember basically because I think it was Nagamine. Yeah, Nagamine is the director. He when they do the shot and they show you what the room looks like, and they just have like the bed, take just one bed. Linux, you in the theater, you told me, you were like, wait a minute, it's three of them in just one bed, and I lean over to you and I'd go like, well, I mean, Broly and Chilai only need one bed. Because I'm like, that's what I felt like they were. Why would you show just mostly the bed in that shot? Like I know what they're trying to allude to there. This was hilarious. So, but it was a great setup, and Goku once again gets some new allies, and I like this because Broly, to me, being presented in Toriyama's continuity as a good guy is so much easier to write for. Whereas with Frieza, at what point is it gonna get like, okay, how many times are you gonna let this guy go? You can't make Frieza a good guy because, as Linux has stated many times in previous audio discussions we've had, it kills everything that's great about that character. But you've got to keep him. But because he is so evil, and these guys are so much stronger, you gotta kill him off, and I don't even think making him the main villain again works. It's like, been there, done that. We need something new. So it really, the way it came off with Frieza said he's going to try and use Broly again, it really comes off to me like it's like they do in WWE from the developmental. You'll have developmental stars from NXT come to the main roster, but then they don't do much with them, and they're doing something with Frieza, but they come to the main roster and like hopefully they have a plan for him, and that's what it feels like. Frieza was just brought back for fans service, and they really don't, they don't really have a really good strong plan of where they want to go, but they know they want to keep him around for fan service. So at some point he's gonna become like that cartoon villain. It's like, well, I'll get you next time, or like I was mentioning,
I'll get you next time, Goku.
Yes, exactly, that's what it's gonna become like. So it's gonna be a lot harder to write Frieza to stay a recurring character in the series for how long. But Broly, he's a good guy, so I'm like, yeah, whenever they need to call upon him, that works great. Before I let you,
and he's a Saiyan.
Yeah, it works.
There's no power cap.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's a Saiyan.
Exactly. And but I think I like how Leo and Shilai say, we might not be on this planet next time you come back. And he's like, it's all right. Wherever you go, I can find you with instant transmission. And they say, we didn't even get your name. The ending line, which everyone who grew up watching the original Broly movies had to get a big pop. And I thought it was the perfect way to end this movie. When Goku goes like, my name is Goku, but Broly looks back, you can call me Kakarot. And then the movie goes to credits. I loved it. I loved it. Everybody gave this a standing ovation in our theater, and I was left blown away. You know, a lot of people are going to ask, is it the greatest Dragon Ball movie of all time? The movie had its problems. It was rushed at certain points. So not everything about the story was perfect. I will give it that. But when you consider the Dragon Ball movies, all of them, from the 13 original Dragon Ball movies, the additions of Kami to Kami and Fakatu no F, the first Dragon Ball movies, when you consider like every Dragon Ball movie we had, very few went this deep from a story and character development standpoint, and the animation and the fighting was all off, and most of the Dragon Ball movies to me were very formulaic, if that's the word. They followed a simple formula of villain shows up, not too much backstory, beats the crap out of all of Goku's friends, then Goku, and then he comes back with some miracle attack where it'd be the Dragon Fins to the Genki Dama, and it ends. But this one really broke the mold on how Dragon Ball movie formulas are usually structured. That's one of the reasons why Linux and I loved Battle of Gods so much, because it broke the norm, and we enjoyed Fakatsu no F, which I thought it lacked a lot of tension. The movie was fun to watch, but it lacked a lot of tension. This movie, I feel, though, really just takes it to a whole nother level compared to the last two Dragon Ball movies. So where I stand right now is I'm gonna say yes. I feel that this was the greatest Dragon Ball movie we've gotten, especially when you compare it. It wasn't until movie 12 was like one of my all-time favorites from top to bottom, and movie 13 I really enjoyed just because I thought that was the first movie that felt like an actual movie. But this one, like, it felt like I was watching an actual movie. Just, yeah. So to me, it is the greatest Dragon Ball movie that we've had. Linux, your thoughts on the conclusion of this movie, and was this the best one to you?
Oh yeah, hands down, this is the best movie. But I will say this: you forgot probably the best part about the ending scene next to the Kakarot line, and that's what Goku tells them when he gets there. After he gives them the capsule, and Chile's like, "Why are you here?" And then he's like, "Well, I was beginning to think I reached my peak, and then this guy showed up, and he was way stronger than me." He was like, I just wanted to make sure he was okay. And then they do that thing where they look at each other, and I wanted to teach him some stuff too. And then I remember it too, because when Goku says that line, all of us in the theater, and you remember this, son, I know you do. When Goku said that, and he was like, he wanted to train with Broly, all of us were like, oh shit.
He's gonna train Broly, old snap.
Like collectively, Cat. All that whole theater, the moment that line ended, we were all like, oh shit.
Because you already know. You already know.
I forgot to mention earlier in the film too that a lot of people had that phrase they saw that they had effed up in the movie when Chile destroyed Paragus' device and they were stranded on the spaceship. Pretty much, we were all like, oh, and I think there was one girl in the theater, and she goes like, so basically everybody's gonna die because of you now.
Yeah, everyone.
It didn't go that route, but that was the first thing I thought. Like, oh, I'm like, I don't know how Broly's gonna get out of control, but when it does, I'm thinking Billy and Mandy, it'll be the end of all of us. They'll kill us all. They'll kill us all. Thankfully, that wouldn't happen. But I like it. The movie messed with my emotions like that because it was very good. The way it sets you up, it makes you think, oh, Broly's gonna get out of control in space, and they're gonna be stranded. Oh, it's not gonna be good. But yeah. Yeah, good stuff, man. Kat, anything you like to add on about the conclusion of the film?
Yeah, yes, I would. And I actually, now that you mentioned about the Chile, I hope it's okay. I just want to say something really quick about that scene that I had forgotten about way back on the spaceship. Because same here, my movie theater, collectively, we as an audience said, oh no, as soon as she stepped on it, because you're like, oh girl, you just messed up. Right. You just messed up something real terrible. And we all thought that, oh boy, this is going to be a problem later. And two things about that scene is that the animation when Broly gets shocked really shows you how bad that charge is. And I love the subtlety of when Paragus is speaking to Frieza for the first time and he brings out that Broly looks petrified. Like, oh, get this off of me.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
I thought that was so good to really show you once again another side to Broly. Broly's not just a killing machine. That hurts him. That's pretty terrible. I really like that. And the conclusion of Broly, first of all, him going back, I was so happy. I was like, yes, you saved my precious baby. I'm so happy. And he's with Chilai now, and I ship that. I ship it. I do. And I love how, once again, Goku comes and shows me why he's so charming. He comes and he makes sure that Broly's okay, and he shows you, once again, why he is the Saiyan that we want to root for. You know, he's saying, I'm going to train you, Bulma, once again, coming through to save the day. Here's all this stuff in this capsule. Here's a house for you guys. You guys will be good. And the way Broly smiles at Goku at the end was so cute. I love that. It was so heartwarming because who would have thought ever that Broly Mr. Kakarot himself would look at Goku as an ally and as possibly a friend. Who knows what's going to happen? You know, hopefully he stays in the story. I'm reading the new manga chapters of Super, which are really, really good. Yeah. And I'm hoping that he'll come back, you know, at some point, because I think that could be a really interesting dynamic. Now we have 3 full Saiyans. That's beautiful. One thing I won't say I just liked it. I guess it was so different from Goku is the Kakarot line, because that in a nutshell, it just, I never heard Goku so willingly say, you could call me Kakarot.
Great character development. It's the first time I think Son Goku ever acknowledged his original name. So it was a great character development. Like he's embraced being a Saiyan, that it is part of his heritage.
And a part of me wondered, the analytical part of me wondered if that had anything to do with Vegeta, because as far as Goku knows, the only other person that calls him Kakarot is Vegeta, a full-blooded Saiyan. Is that something that Goku respects? Like, because you are a full-blooded Saiyan, call me by my full-blooded Saiyan name. You know, it really did show this sense of pride of Goku. It was done so quickly, and then the movie's over, that I was like, I'm sorry, what did you say? Are you guys setting this up for? Or is Broly gonna come back screaming Kakarot? Because I can't handle that. You guys made me really love this guy. I don't want to hate him later. I thought that it was such a good storyline that was written so well that makes you want to come back for more. I left that theater going, give me more. I want more of this. It was very satisfying, but also opened up the door for so much potential. And I hope Akira Toriyama and Toyotaro really noticed that. That's why I'm so happy that this movie did so well, because I feel like it does it drive home now that this is what us Dragon Ball fans want. This is what we want. Like you said, the movie's not flawless, but I loved that movie, and I can't find many personal faults with it. And I really hope that shows that this is what we want. We're Dragon Ball, of course, for a lot of people, they're going to say fighting anime. But then when you talk to fans, they'll tell you, but it's more than that. It's more than just the fights. It's more than just the showmanship. There's a heart to this story. And this movie did such a good job of reminding everyone that, no, this is more than just a fighting story. These are actual characters with actual stories to be told, and here's the way we're going to tell it. And it was a great tie-up. I was very, very, very happy with the way that this movie ended. I love that Broly is going to be a character, because I really loved it. I also don't know if we talked about or if you guys talked about, when I had walked away, the part where Broly is talking to Chilai, and I can't remember the old man's name. Is it
Limo?
What was his name?
Limo. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
About how he's talking.
Yeah, the only thing we talked about when you had walked away was just the Goku saying repugnant when you had to stare down with Frieza. Yeah.
I loved Broly's character, and I loved the everything that they gave us with it, and I can't stop saying how much I love this movie, and I can't stop saying how much I love the conclusion, and it just really revitalized my love for a series that I won't say that I thought was gone, but because it had gotten kind of quiet after Super, even with the movie coming, I was wondering if it would really spark back up as strong as it did when Super was every week and Super Saturdays were a thing. And yes, this movie held me over for whenever Super's coming back.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was gonna say too. I liked Limo's character. I thought Bruce Carey did an excellent job, just having him be like that old timer. And I hope Tomokazu Sugita. I hope that he did an excellent job when I see it in the Japanese version. Also, another voice actress that was in this movie that I forgot to mention is Veronica Taylor. Actually, voiced Larry Blue. And Veronica Taylor, a lot of you will be familiar with her as Ash Ketchum from Pokemon. So that was really cool. There you go. Veronica Taylor has the rights now to say that she was in 3 anime movies that were the highest grossing of all time in the North American market. You had somebody wanted that on Linux?
No, I was just going to say final thoughts when it comes to this movie, with this movie, as you know, son, because we talked a lot about this movie going into it, and my biggest fear was how they were going to handle the Broly transformation, how they were going to do, like we had already discussed, like, yeah, it feels like there's more character development. It feels like they're actually deep diving into the story. But my biggest fear was how much we were going to get. And I walked away from this movie satisfied. Mm-hmm. Like, more than satisfied. That's not even the word to do this justice. And I say that because, we talked about the origin of the Saiyans, but just the Broly origin story and how much it pulls from the original source material while fleshing out a lot of the things that the original movie left us with. There were a lot of open-ended answers that they gave us, a lot of unanswered questions that the first movie gave us, a lot of things where you just kind of had to fill in the plot. And it didn't make sense. It was more like a congealed mess of ideas. And this, like, you get attached to Broly. You see it, like, from beginning to finish, or from beginning to present, I should say, you see his character evolve from a kid to how he was treated, why he does what he does, which in essence isn't really why he's doing it. It's more so what his dad is making him do. Like, you see those stages of the character, and you can't help but root for him in a way, to where he's like, come on, like, you can get past this, you can push past this. And then, to kind of piggyback off Kat, Chile helps that. Because she's basically up. Like, everybody who's a Broly fan is essentially kind of like Chile. You are rooting for him because he's not doing it because he wants to do it. He's doing it because this is all he knows up to this point. Like, his whole life, he was trained for revenge. And you kind of see he doesn't really want to do it. He's just doing it because Paragus said, this is what I need you to do.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. And Kat, for Dragon Ball, I was explaining to my friend, and I saw on the second night, is that as the fighting is always great in Dragon Ball, and I definitely liked it, but just growing up as a kid, there's been so many great morals and messages, just from a life perspective, a spiritual perspective, that I've gotten from Dragon Ball that I've been able to go ahead and bring into life and learn from that. And that's one of the things that I love Dragon Ball. Like, to me, it's my all-time favorite anime, and I understand there's a lot of better anime out there in terms of the way the story is written and characters, but just to me personally, what Dragon Ball's meant to my life and what I've been able to learn from it and put into it is one of the reasons I love this series so much. And that's why it was so great to see so many people coming out. I'll just go ahead just to conclude some things here is if there's some nitpicks that I did have that I would have loved to seen. It would have been great to hear Kel mention just a little sentence of saying, wow, that looks like the form that Kel has. But like I said, I know Toriyama didn't write those characters, and so it would have been nice if somebody in the animation staff would have added in there for some continuity. Also, I thought they should have done a much more bigger deal. We talked about how all the transformations look so great. I wish the Broly transformation would have been as epic as it was. in the original movie, as opposed to just finding dimension and going like, ah, and then there you go, or Gogeta going like, ah, like this. I wish they would have had the magnitude, but maybe they were running out of time, and so they just thought they just go ahead and throw it in there. So I would have wished they would have done some stuff like that. Just a little few nitpicks on there. But yeah, in terms of just finishing up here with the future of Dragon Ball, as great as this movie was, I still stand by it that nostalgia is great, but it can only run for so long. I still want to see new characters. I want to see them go past this 10-year time skip and finally give us the Dragon Ball story that's going past the end of DBZ. I mean, yeah, the end of DBZ, because everything was still a prequel here. I like the new lore they added, but I just like to see it go past, and I still want to see the story transition to where Son Goku is similar to like All Might, where he's going to take on that mentor role, and you can make sort of Oob like Midoriya or something like that. I really want to see that going on into the future. Kat, you mentioned the new chapter of the Dragon Ball Super manga from Toyotaro that I've been watching. It is very interesting. I don't know if you've seen it yet, Linux, but I highly recommend. I stood up.
I'm well aware of more.
So you've been reading it too?
I'm well aware of more.
All right, good. Then you've seen the epic just development that he's done with Vegeta, just how he analyzed what was it, Masu? I forget the guy that shot him. I really love that type of attention to detail, because like a taser laser gun shouldn't be able to take down Vegeta, but he's questioning how is this guy strong enough to do it with this item. So I like that, and it just, I love how he saved the Namekian, and I do like how they're tying in moral Patu and Majin Buu, and maybe this is going to all lead into Oob. So the new chapter is very, very fascinating.
Very fascinating.
And we'll see where it goes if they have it go into the anime. Like I said, I want to see a more fleshed out version of the opening of this movie, but don't try and remake this the fight scenes that we saw in this. There's no way they can do it. I still like to see Super just take place right after what's going on here and get into the end of Z. But it does show that, hey, Broly is an indefinite draw, and I love the character now. I grew up thinking Broly was he was okay. Hey, I never bashed him, don't you? Me, Linux, don't you do that? I never bashed a character. I just thought he was okay. Linux, you know good and well, I never bashed the character. I was never a Broly hater.
I hated that.
Broly, I don't know, guys, ignore Linux out there. I never was a Broly hater. I was never a Broly hater. I just didn't think he was the end-all, be-all of Dragon Ball, as a lot of people made him out to be. But here, I love the character. I've gone from being neutral with the character, because I just always thought that, like you said, Linux, the concept of Broly was awesome, but the backstory they gave him, just crying with Goku, was like, ugh. And I'm actually one of the people out there that like the second Broly movie. I love Second Coming, and I even like Bio Broly. I like the urgency of Bio Broly at the end, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all three movies, but I do...
Guys, he didn't mean that about Bio Broly. He didn't
I liked all the Dragon Ball
to be
movies.
fair, that three-son, the father-son final Kamehameha.
Yes.
I don't know Kamehameha or Kamehameha, but we're going to say Kamehameha. That was great. Okay, that was pretty great.
Visually stunning. See, here's the thing: the first two endings to the Broly movie, I always felt were the problem with them was they were visually stunning and logically lacking, I should say. Whereas the Bio Broly finish was logically stunning, logically stunning because of how quick they were willing to react when they saw Broly was frozen and whatever the rock he stepped in or whatever. But as he admitted to, visually it was trash, as he could put it. I thought it was well drawn out, but visually it's like, come on now. Whereas this movie, it was visually great and it made logical sense here. And I'm glad they found a way to use the Dragon Balls, because after the Tournament of Power, I was like, Whis, you might as well call it Whis Super now, because you can ask him to do anything. But it would make sense why Chilai felt she couldn't go to Whis, basically. So yeah.
Speaking of Whis, hold on. It's the most subtle thing ever, but do you guys remember what the little shot of Whis before the final Kamehameha wave?
Yeah, he saw this
Gogeta does.
this power. Yeah, this fight is coming shortly soon, or something like that. He said the fight was going to end soon.
Oh yeah,
Bro,
yes, I do remember.
it's the look on his face as well. Like when Gogeta, sorry, when Gogeta starts to charge up the Kamehameha wave, they pan to a shot of Whis really, really quickly, and he has like the most devious smile on his face as that thing is charging up. Like it's almost like he approves. Like, yes, this is the god of destruction Beerus thought you could be. Like it's almost like that vibe.
He's super. He's a proud papa. Seeing Goku and Vegeta,
Yeah.
Goku and Vegeta team up. I was gonna say too, just to add on to things we didn't touch in the movie. That was I found very interesting is the Vegeta. I mentioned the Goku side coming out when letting go Frieza, but that had to be all his Vegeta side because he was going to mercilessly, no mercy at all, mercilessly kill an innocent man. Like, wow, he showed no mercy towards Broly, but mercy towards Frieza. So that was very interesting. I also, something that I know people mentioned too, a little out of character, that Vegeta would just let Goku get in the middle of his fight and he just wouldn't watch it. So it was like, yeah, I thought that was a little strange. It would have been nice to see. I know, Kat, you were okay with it. I would have loved to seen.
I'm not against it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not against it only because I think at that point in the fight, Vegeta realized shit was about to get real. Yeah. So he's like, you know what? Tag, you're it.
I was gonna say too, Kat, you mentioned earlier you didn't have a problem the other Z Warriors not being in there. I would have appreciated it though. For me personally, I would have loved if they would have done just a nice little screenshot where they go like, who are Dad and Goku, or Goku and Vegeta fighting and everything, and they and then basically because that's what they did with like Frieza, they all gathered even though they knew they probably were going to be in a match for him. It would have been great to see that. But let's talk about right quick before we conclude the greatest part of this movie. And it's what I yelled out both nights that I saw the movie. And that was that Gohan was the best part.
Gohan, make Gohan great again.
Now, Linux detests Gohan. He can't stand the Gohan character, and I think it was like episode 127.
Precious baby Gohan.
Yeah, we've gone on for quite a while, so we won't get into it here. But if you guys want to hear it, go back to our episode 127 review, I think it was, and Gohan. At the end of that review, we let Linux go on about his whole rant about Gohan. But yeah, Linux doesn't enjoy the Gohan character, so he's super glad in Dragon Ball Super while everybody's complaining about when is Toriyama going to make, as you said, Gohan great again. He's happy that Gohan is buried.
I went during Resurrection F when Frieza hopped out of that ship, bodied him, and hopped back in like nothing happened. I cheered.
Oh no!
Oh, why that happened?
Yeah, he hate. Long story short, he feels like Toriyama handed Gohan everything from a writing standpoint. But like I said, I know we've gone on for quite a long time, guys. So if you want to check out the review at the end of episode 127 review. We'll do a more detailed analysis on that. I think we've covered everything here in the movies. You all agree that this was, I'm pretty sure you both agree that this was far better than the original 3 Broly movies, right?
Oh, absolutely. That was hands down my favorite.
Exactly, that was a question. Oh, yeah, definitely. I told my friend that I saw on the second night, this is her first introduction to Broly. So she's only seen the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie and has to go back to watch the original 3.
Oh, lucky.
And I'm like, you've pretty much started, right at the top here, because when you go to those other 3 movies, it's gonna be down here. Like what's we're big fans of wrestling. Macho Man, she's already started with the cream of the crop in the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. Ooh, yeah. Like, that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's at the top of it. So definitely, this is on a whole different scale and everything.
My friend who had never even seen Dragon Ball, like she's seen a couple episodes of Super, she's been over. We forced her to go see this movie because that's the type of friends that we are. And she had a great time. And it made me such a proud mom to listen to her say these like things about Goku and Vegeta. I'm like, this is beautiful. This movie bridges the gap.
Definitely, and I think we all are enjoying it. Hey everybody, SONGOSHUAKU'S here! If you enjoyed this sound clip, click the link here in the video to listen to our full podcast review of Dragon Ball Super Broly. Also, links to all our social media is in the description below. Lastly, subscribe, followed by hitting the notification bell so that way you are notified as soon as my content is released.